Waiting. Hey everybody, how y'all doing tonight? This your boy Savalis Williams. This is Cloud Chasing, where we mix the culture with the real estate. Yes. What I'm gonna do is I think I'm gonna move my no, I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna leave it there. So look, I wanna thank y'all for tuning in. How you doing over there? This is my sister. Salute. Yo, eviction crisis, right? It's an extreme eviction crisis going on, y'all. Y'all know about it. Tell me if y'all experienced, y'all know anybody that's being evicted. For some reason, my YouTube is a little bit delayed. I'm not sure why, but I'm gonna keep going. All right, because IG, y'all good? Y'all can hear me? Y'all can see me? Y'all can see me and hear me as well over here on YouTube? Let me know. Let me know what's good, what's cracking, what's good. All right. Yo, all right, so I'm gonna keep going. All right, it's a little bit delayed. It's kind of funny acting. Hopefully, it don't act like this on the playback. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, right? We talking about this eviction crisis, this extreme eviction crisis. Extreme. Right? It's getting wild out here in these streets, right? Some people have facing some hard times, and we're gonna talk about it now. In the home of the one and only, the great LeBron James, you know, also Lil Bow Wow. You just don't know the way you move so on the floor. Lil Bow Wow, the home of Lil Bow Wow, y'all. Y'all know where it's at. The Buckeye State, right? Ohio. Ohio's been having a lot of issues when it comes to people being evicted lately. So last time we talked about what? Los Angeles. Los Angeles, LA. We talked about the Bay Area, right? My homeboy came on. He said, "Hey, in Richmond, $2,600 to rent a two-bedroom." Right? Old girl came on here, Amanda. Amanda showed up. She said $650 to rent a room in Southern California. Now, I said out here in Hampton Roads, I'm not sure if the rent is too crazy. Then Slim Goody came on and said, yeah, rent is not good here as well. So I found this extremely interesting about what's going on over here in Columbus, Ohio. We are going to talk about it, people. I got this article once again. I want to thank y'all for tuning in. Um, if you could please hit the like button, subscribe as well. It really helps the channel out to push this through. Let me minimize this, make sure I can see my people who are over here. All right. So this article came out. When did this article come out? It's a couple of days ago, right? On the second, right? The link for the article that I'm about to go through is in the description below, right? So legal aid helps Columbus renters face evictions. So we talked about this a lot at the last show, where there are protections for renters. So if you're having issues with renting, eviction notices, you have to contact your local legal services to see what type of uh, aid they may have for you, right? Um, Las Vegas, they have a good allegedly, officer. I don't know how true it is. They have a good legal service team helping people who may be facing evictions. So we are seeing a uptick in these evictions, creating people needing legal aid to help them. Now, why is this important? Why is it important? Let's say clout chasing. Why is this so important? Right? Because when you go, if you're facing these issues, you're facing this challenge, when you are in court for an eviction, 9 times out of 10, as the renter or the tenant, you don't have legal representation. And so a lot of the verdicts come back in favor of the landlord or the property managers, right? Not just because you don't have legal representation, but that's part of it. So what the legal team for you can do is maybe extend the time you have to get your things together, your finances in order, maybe get somebody to help you move some stuff out. They can buy you some time if you really don't have the money to pay, right? But we talked about this before, right? People are trying to use, oh, my house is not in good condition, so that's why I didn't pay my rent, which I don't believe that for a lot of people, right? Some people, yes, right? It's certain things that the landlords are not doing. But however, shout out to brother Anton Daniels. He, made a good point. If you don't like your landlord, you don't like the apartment complex, you don't like the area in which the home is at, you think that they're not doing a good job with keeping up with the maintenance, they're not doing a good job with being on top of other things and subcontractors coming in there that's supposed to do work. If you feel like, hey, this management team is not doing a really good job of taking care of my needs as a renter, you can move. Look, you can move before your lease is up. It'll be breaking the lease, but if things are that bad, you have all your human rights to move freely out of that area. You do not have to stay there. You don't have to make a scene to whereas it's like, oh, my dishwasher don't work, so I'm not going to pay the rent. 4 months go by, your dishwasher still don't work. You haven't paid the rent, but guess what? Now you owe $5,000 in back pay for rent. Do you have the money? And a lot of us, unfortunately, don't. Now, what the numbers say, what the data shows, what the statistics shows and provide. I'm gonna lift this up a little bit. It's kind of annoying. My head's cut off. Let me see. All right. What the data is showing is that, everyone's being evicted. Don't get me wrong. But what the data shows is that Black women are being evicted at double the rate of everybody else, right? With the education being the most educated, with them being strong, independent, CMOS gold, I don't need no man, I can do bad by myself, my baby daddy ain't ish. With all that, still being evicted at twice the rate of everybody else. It's not a good thing, right? So I want to provide some solutions. We need to think of solutions on how to keep people housed, right? Because remember, housing is not a human right. Housing is something that we all have to work for, unless you get some type of inheritance, right? Right. Trust fund, somebody pass away, they leave you the house in the trust. Okay, that's different. But many of us don't have that option. Many of us have to go to work, do our best to budget and save our money, be responsible enough to pay the rent on time. It goes the same with mortgages, right? For homeowners, it's the same thing, right? The difference, however, is as an owner, you have more options when things go astray. That's the difference. Now, I've been talking for a minute, so let me go ahead and introduce myself. Those of you who may not know, my name is Savalis Williams. That is my government name. For the past several years, I have been educating myself academically in the realm of real estate, right? This means that I went to school for real estate, not just for a real estate license, but to actually learn the industry from an academic standpoint so I can position myself to be able to work in the industry, right? And so as a result, I have a certification in real estate. I have a associate's degree in real estate. I have another certificate of completion for property management for commercial real estate through BOMA. I also have a bachelor's degree. Did I say that right? You know I'm ghetto, so I can't really talk. Just forgive me. You wonder how I got it right. Like this dude line. In business management with the concentration in real estate. Now, I also have a salesperson's license for the state of California to help people buy and sell real estate, which I am working on getting transferred to the state of Virginia because that's where I'm currently at. I moved out of California. Oh, the glass didn't break. Well, my glass ain't breaking. I don't know. This struggle streaming. My system is acting bad right now. Super delayed, just like my YouTube channel. I don't know what's going on. But anyway, IG, y'all look like y'all good. So we're going to keep pushing. Also, to conclude all of those things, I have owned a couple properties, managed properties myself, dealt with property managers, fired property managers, had to evict people, had to find people to get into units. So I've kind of been around the mulberry bush a little bit when it comes to real estate. And this is one thing that I'm passionate about and that I enjoy and that I love. And I currently actually work in military housing as a grounds crew member. But before, for the first 7 months, I was doing service coordinator work, right? So I was behind the scenes looking at a lot of things when it comes to maintenance issues, right? I was the guy that was going ahead and put in, and you talk to when you have an issue, and I send the technicians out there to look at the issue for you. That was me. Now, let's get into this article. Once again, link is in the description below. Link for the article is in the description below. Oh, before we go too far, right? Let me go back. So about our people, our black women getting evicted at double the rate of everybody else, we need solutions, right? And so one solution is always going to be what the government is going to tell us, what the media is going to tell us. We need to build more houses, right? Supply and demand, because you can fight the rate of rent prices if you have more homes. Legitimately, they're correct, right? In theory, they are correct. That's what people should do. But in order to actually have an effect on that, we need to build like 7 million homes quickly, super fast. And that's not going to happen. I'm sorry. It's just not going to happen. So, what's another alternative that we could do or try to do to lower the price of rent, right? What can we do so we don't get evicted? Well, I mean, they can do rent control, but that's not lowering the price, right? You can get subsidies, right? Rental assistance, Section 8, things of that nature, but that's not lowering the rent price, right? So what'll happen is, as time goes on, even if you are on Section 8, even if you are on some type of aid or assistance for your rent, hey, what's up, sis? Even if you're on some kind of assistance or aid for your rent, what you will see is that, let's say the rent prices are like, $750, right? Boom. You had 750. But then this is 2023. So in 2028, the price is gonna go up, right? It's not gonna be 750 no more, right? So what are the solutions? What are the actual solutions to fight this eviction situation, right? I'm a strong component of we need to really get more skills and knowledge and training for jobs that pay us more money, right? Also, we need to get skills about learning how to create businesses that actually make money. Uh, what this say? This say tax fixer K Renee. I'm act like I don't know who that is. She say, buy a house. Yes, definitely. Buy a house is a solution, but we need to actually be able to get the money, the funds, the knowledge on how to buy the house, right? And I'm always telling people like, yo, it ain't even got to be a house. You can buy a condo. I'm also a strong advocate for people owning something, right? As far as real estate. So it can be a condo, it could be a single family, 2-story. It could be, I don't know so much about a trailer. Get back to me about the trailer. But um, owning some type of home, some type of property, it gives you more options if and when things go astray financially when it comes to paying rent, right? Or paying the mortgage. Right? You have more options versus someone giving you a 3-day notice, giving you a pay now or quit notice, or and you just being evicted, when the sheriffs come, when they come knock on your door and you gotta go, right? So let's really get into this article because my solution. I didn't tell y'all the solution. My bad, I'm a little bit ghetto and I'm trying to go to bed. I'm over here on the East Coast. It's almost 11 o'clock and I gotta go to work in the morning. So forgive me for my lack of being focused tonight. And I'm hungry. I got some snacks over here, but I'm trying to keep them off camera. So trying not to eat it while I'm working. Anyway, the solution, right? I said we need more skills. We need skills that'll give us better paying jobs, right? I was a part of a boot camp that was called Careerist, where the course I took was for sales tech engineer. The course is 6 weeks long. You don't have to be like a techie person. You don't have to have a degree in any kind of computer science or anything like that, right? It's a six week boot camp course where they train you. There's other subject matters and courses. I just chose sales tech engineer because it's more so the position where you're helping people learn about the product that they would be using for their company. Anyway, 6 week course. They help you get to an internship, right? They do an internship for you, so you get that practical experience, and then also they help you with your resume and they help you with your LinkedIn account. And they have mentors, and they assign you a personal mentor to help you along the way. And even after the course is done, even after the internship is done, you can still contact them via Slack in the message groups. You can still go on to their their uh, their meetups where they meet up and they discuss different options and what's going on with other people. So it's a great community that they built for careerists. That link for the boot camp is in my YouTube description below. Y'all can check that out. And then once you go ahead and you break into the tech industry, right? When you break into the tech industry, you're gonna have a little money in your pocket. And with that money, what you can do, you can buy some stocks, right? So if you look in the description below, you can go ahead and use my link for Robinhood as well. Go ahead and do that. And if you need any kind of credit cards after that, you can use my other link for SoFi credit, right? So I got the hookup for you. I'm gonna look out for y'all. You feel me? But first, we got to get some skills, and we definitely got to get uh, some training. It can also be trade schools. It don't have to be necessarily a tech job, right? You can go to a community college, go get a trade, electrician, plumber, construction, all these type of things to help you get more skills. So we don't have these articles about people being evicted, right? Because this is not acceptable, right? Throughout the country, the pandemic has put us all in a situation where it's people thought they had time to get some kind of money, right? Or they was getting the free money and they thought everything was going to be peachy because the government said, you don't got to pay your rent. But then guess what happened? It's time to pay your rent. And many people are not able to pay the back pay of the rent, right? So there's a lot of groups, legal groups coming to help individuals who are not able to make that back payment. And now we're going to get into the article finally, like I promised. All right, this is discussing about Columbus, Ohio, right? Columbus is Columbus is taking action to protect tenants' rights amid the record-breaking number of local eviction filings. Right? City Council on Monday renewed its support for the Legal Aid Society of Columbus with up to 1.5 million in new funding towards housing attorney costs. So they're going to pay for your attorney. Well, I guess it's kind of like a pay for attorney already, right? So they've already got the attorneys ready for y'all, right? If you in Columbus, and also check, like I say, check your local areas if you need help with getting assistance if you're facing an eviction. Why does this matter? This matters because tenants are less likely to be evicted if they have legal representation. Lawyers can also negotiate payments and connect tenants with rental assistance and other social services. Attorneys have some hookups that some of us may need, right? Even though we may not be able to afford them, we don't have to stress that so much now because, hey, there's legal programs out here that are willing and able to help us, and they got money. They got paid for it already, right? So if you're facing some problems, go ahead and look them up, right? Without legal representation, they are more likely to lose their case, right? Lose their home. Technically, it's not your home. I deal with this all the time working with military housing. A lot of the military personnel, we want our tenants and our residents to treat our homes like it is their homes if they treat their things well, right? Some people get um, entitled and they feel like this is their home, like this is they're paying a mortgage on the property, and that's not the case, right? So I see what they're saying. You can lose your home, but it's not really your home, right? I'm just saying, right? It is your place where you're living. I get it, right? A house is not a home, all right? Uh, Lose their home and have evictions on records that will follow them, says the council member. That makes their chances at obtaining housing even more difficult. Yes, so we talked about this in a couple streams ago, where if you get an eviction on your record, it is extremely well. No, let me take it back. If you get an eviction on your record, a lot of landlords are doing this thing. It's called no eviction. So if they see your record and they see the eviction, they will throw your application in the trash. Right? They won't even consider you. So by the numbers, LASC handled over 2,000 cases last year, helping 580 Columbus families stay in their homes via settlements and securing additional move-out time for another 640 families. So that's pretty good. They still missing. That's not 2,000 in total, but they handled 2,000 cases. They helped 580 of them people stay in the home with a settlement, and another 640 people they had extended time to move out. Right, so that's good. That's helping, right? Solutions, right? Columbus eviction problem stretches back many years. Housing managing attorney tells the article, tells the website. Around here we go, y'all. Listen to this. Around 18,000 evictions were filed in Franklin County in 2019. Okay. I'm not familiar with Franklin County, but I'm assuming that's a part of the Columbus area, right? The number has grown to record heights since the pandemic. Nearly 21,000 filed last year, and in 2023, that's where we at today, is on pace to surpass that total. Yo, it's getting real in the field out there in Ohio. Shout out to Lil Bow Wow. You feel me? Shout out to LeBron James. Between the lines, Columbus and other local governments have allocated millions of federal relief dollars towards rental and utility assistance programs. Okay, they already said that, right? We know the money's there. They've been putting money in the system. It says, but it can be slow process, right? Doling out the money to residents, to tenants, right? Some landlords have refused to accept this as a payment. Now, this I don't get. So the government, they have government assistance for these people, and so the landlords won't take the money. I don't that part I don't get. It says some landlords have refused to accept this as a payment. Either landlords may be transitioning, right, to look at a different type of renter, right? That's one reason why they wouldn't accept payment, right? I'm not going to deal with this type of renter. I'm going to move and look for this type of renter. Makes sense? The other reason would be, I don't know. Y'all tell me what y'all think another reason would be where someone would not accept a payment. Oh, maybe it's not enough money. Maybe it's short, right? Maybe instead of them paying $5,000 for the back pay, maybe they're only settling or they're asking for, you know, $2,200, right? And landlord's like, no, 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 no. It's possible. Right? I don't know the facts of those kind of situations, but it's interesting though. Columbus low housing stock is driving up rent prices, which contributes to the high eviction numbers. So this is what we talked about in the beginning, the supply and demand issue, right? The low housing stock is driving up the price of rent, right? Another thing that would drive up the price of rent is if people started migrating to Columbus. I don't think that's happening so much. I don't think really people are like, oh, I'm going to move to Columbus, Ohio, unless they got some kind of killer job waiting for them, right? Um, which is contributing to the high eviction numbers. Okay, on Monday, council passed ordinance requiring landlords to accept third-party rent money if paid on time and protecting tenants from evictions if able to pay back rent and accompany late fees before court eviction judgment is handed down. So they passed the ordinance saying that the landlords have to accept the the assistant rent money, right? If it's paid on time and if they have not went to court yet to file the eviction and and if a wait, let me go back, let me slow down. Protections from evictions if able to pay back rent and accompany late fees before a court's eviction judgment is handed down. So they have to before the eviction is handed down. Okay. Whew. Hey, y'all need to get it together. We need to get it together. Right? Here we go. This is the bottom line, y'all. And we're gonna get up out of here. This is the bottom line and all this. And I'm gonna go eat my snacks. Enticing these policies has been a long time coming. And they also added that more work is needed to solve the extreme housing crisis. That's what this article says, right? The description for that one is in the link is in the description below for that article. You can check it out yourself, read it yourself, go over it yourself. So tell me what y'all think about that, about what's going on in Columbus, Ohio. The numbers for the eviction filings, I got stuff on the side of my lip. Y'all ain't tell me, man. Look, it's going to pass 21,000 for that county, Franklin County, that's out there in Columbus. Right. It is crazy. So before we get out of here, I'm going to do one thing. Oh, well, let's talk about the next live stream. It's another one for Ohio, right? Let me just see if this says, it just says Ohio, right? And I'm trying to get this lady on to the show, but we're going to talk about that that one next time. Unless y'all want to do it now. We still got to, I mean, I could go another 30 minutes. Right. This one's a weird case because it never says why the landlord wanted to evict this person. So that's why I was really confused and I wanted to get her perspective of it, of what actually happened. But if she doesn't respond back to me, I might just have to do it and we can just talk about it together as a group. But this case was also in Ohio. I mean, it's crazy, right? Ohio, they are evicting people, or filings are being wrapped up like crazy. All right, it's all these suggestions on how people could, you know, save and allocate and do their funds for money. But at the end of the day, prices are going to continue to go up, and we need jobs and businesses. Either we run a business that's very profitable, something that might be residual income, right, at a good rate, or we need jobs that pay us a lot more money. And we need to, manage. Of course, we need to manage our money right once we get the correct incomes, right? Because if you look and you read or you listen to the media and what's coming from the White House, what they're telling us is that what? Oh, we created, 69,000 jobs this last month. Oh, we created 35,000 jobs last month. Creating jobs is cool, but what they don't tell you is that a lot of the jobs that's being quote unquote created are people getting second and third jobs. So they're not necessarily creating jobs, it's people who already have jobs getting second and third jobs. I work with a couple people who have two jobs, right? Um, and so having jobs is not the solution. The solution is having high income jobs. That's the solution, right? So, like I said, for different trainings, for if you want to break into the tech industry, right? If you've always been curious about it, the link for careerists is in my description below. Check out that boot camp. It's a great course to take, and also um, trade schools at community colleges are still available, right? You might need to get some financial aid, but that's better than taking out a loan, right? So we got options, baby. We got options. And so let's take a look real quick at um, the top places with evictions. Let's take a look real quick. Let's see if we can find this. Hope y'all having a good night, y'all. It is Tuesday. We got a long week ahead. It's a lot more probably devastating information like this coming out throughout the country about evictions. And okay, y'all, this is what we're gonna do. I found it. We're gonna take a look at let's take a look at y'all ready for this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 5 states with the least amount of evictions since the least amount of, let me correct myself. The least amount of eviction filings, right? So, and look, this is another thing too I need y'all to understand. This is just the filings that we know about, right? These are the ones that actually being put into court, right? There's hundreds of thousands of other evictions that never make it to court, right? People just get the landlord could write up a pay now or quit letter, put it on the tenant, right? Put it on the door before the landlord could even get to the courthouse. That tenant seen the letter, know they can't pay, don't want to deal with no other issues, call up the landlord like, hey, I don't got the money, I can't pay. See, I'm old school. I still do the phone like this. I know some young people that do the phone like this. They do it like this. Anyway, I'm old school. So look, they say call a landlord up. Hold on. Call a landlord up and be like, hey, I ain't got the money. Sorry, times have been hard right now. It's nothing that I can really do to help you out as far as any kind of arrangements to help me catch up. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave. I'll be out by the end of the month. Don't worry either about doing the eviction filing to the court because I'll be out by the end of the day. Forget the end of the month. I'll be out by the end of the day. Bye. Click. Right, and that's how some of them are. Right, it's hundreds of thousands of situations like that. Right, where it never even makes it to the court. So just know the number that we seen and that's being reported. You can probably add another 25% to it, right? Maybe another 50%. Anyway, these are the 5 least filings in these states. These 5, I'm gonna give y'all 5 states where it's the least amount of filings for evictions, right? Number 5, Connecticut. Since the pandemic, so this is since January, March 2020, right? Connecticut is number 5. They've only filed 42,739 since the start of the pandemic. And the number looks like it's going to be increasing here a little bit. It was coming down, but I think it looks like it's going to start going back up. Number 4, the 4th state that has the fewest eviction filings. Took me a second to think about that. Minnesota has only filed 41,632 notices. Number 3, New Mexico. If you know some people in New Mexico, guess what? They probably got somewhere to stay because New Mexico has only filed 34,784 since the pandemic. All right. We're going to go down to number 2. Number two. The second least eviction filing state in the great country of the United States of America is the state that's right next to me. I believe this was the first state, right? Delaware. Delaware only filed 30,598 eviction notices. But that number looked like it's about to be going up some more too. And New Mexico number looked like it's going up too. Now, here go the number one state with the least eviction filings. Rhode Island. They've only filed 19,630 eviction notices since the pandemic or since March 15, 2020. Right? I know y'all be like, you're like, Cloud, like, why would you tell us the least amount, right? Why didn't you tell us the one that has the most amount? Because I don't want to break y'all hearts, right? I want to tell y'all the least amount because these places seem like they either may be renter friendly, right? Because they don't have that many evictions, and or, right, they may have high income jobs in these 5 states, right? Because these people in these states seem to be able to what? Pay their rent if they're the 5 least filings in the country. So maybe if you close to these areas or you know someone in these areas or you are in these areas, what jobs are there, right? What businesses have been started there, right? But Rhode Island, I know it's a very small state, but only 19,630 filings. That's like tremendously low compared to even number 2, which is 30,000. They got like 11,000 less, right? So I know it's a much smaller state, but you know what I'm saying? Like it's still a small number compared to everybody else. Um, and so there you have it. Cloud chasers, right? The real ROI, right? Renters, owners, investors. That's us, baby. All my clout chasers. Renters, owners, investors. Renters, owners, investors. And we all play a part in this economy. We all play a part in this real estate game. Either you are a renter, you play a part in real estate, right? If you are an owner, you play a part in real estate. If you are an investor, you play a part in real estate, right? And so, with that said, we're going to break the glass one more time. Somebody knocking on my door, one of my children. And I'm going to bid everyone a good night. I want to thank my sister for chiming in, the tax fixer, K. Renee. And I didn't see too many people jump on here with me tonight. There was somebody else. Hold on. There was a couple of people actually. Oh, yeah, my other sister, Lou, she got on here. And so I just want to thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. Anyone who's watching this now in the future, right? Thank y'all. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. And remember, though things may be hard now, we do have solutions, right? Trade schools, tech boot camps is which I'm an advocate for. Check out my link in the description below. And, high income jobs, right? Businesses that are profitable, that's making you money, right? You can say you can start a business and only make like $20,000, right? But if you have 5 of those businesses making you $20,000, now you have $100,000. If you did one business and you got a good feel for it, you know how to market it, you know who your target audience is, all right? You got good product, good e-commerce or whatever the case may be. You made 20,000. You can do 2 more businesses. Then you got 3. You're like, okay, 20,000 each at least. Profit. I ain't talking gross. I'm talking net. Right? What you bring home in the business. Okay, now you got 60,000. You do it 2 more times, 2 more businesses. And now guess what? You got 100,000. And you just keep going. Or you just grow those 5 businesses, right? To make more, or profit more, right? You need a job, a higher paying job. The tech industry is where we want to be. We want to break into the tech industry. Trades, right? Stuff with your hands where you could actually get paid for your skills. You can leverage that into starting your own electrical company, your own plumbing company, your own construction company, right? And these are things that we need to look at and focus on, right? It's cool to go to college and get your little degree. It's cool, but we actually need skills. We actually need higher paying income jobs in order to fight this extreme eviction situation. Right? It's cool that Black women are the most educated people, allegedly, but are they the most married people? Right? Because we read the article on the stream the other day where the man who were potentially getting evicted was able to work out deals with the landlords by doing some type of maintenance work around the property. Right? Women, a lot of times, either don't have those maintenance skills or they have other priorities with children and trying to hold on to the job that they do have that's not paying them enough money where they still on food stamps. Nothing wrong with food stamps. I'm trying to, if you got some, holla at your boy. I'm just saying. But yeah, I'm gonna bid y'all a good night, man. Thank y'all for rocking with me. I do apologize if this has kind of been dry. I am extremely tired. and we gonna go to the. We gonna y'all stay tuned for the next show, and we're gonna continue to fight this eviction thing that's going on across the nation until our people, get the income that they need in order to be able to live here in America, not freely, but not safely, until we're able to live here comfortably. There it is, comfortably, right? Comfortable. We need to be comfortable and living paycheck to paycheck. If you take one day off, you throws off all your money for the 2 weeks. It's not a good feeling, right? So this your boy Big Clout. This has been Clout Chasing. This is the only YouTube channel that I know about where we mix the culture with the real estate. Y'all have a good night. Peace.